Super Smash Shows! Welcome to Super Smash Shows. It's back, and no copyright law in the universe is going to stop me. The rules are simple. I pick 3 shows connected by a theme, I watch the first episode of each, and then cruelly force them to fight in a battle royale. There can be only one winner. The show I would be most likely to continue watching. This time we'll be pitting the first episode of these 3 shows against each other. Swordtama, A Lull in the Sea, and Mermaid Melody Peachy Peachy Pitch. The connection is that all 3 of these shows are set in or around the ocean. Because we do like to be beside the seaside, and considering we're not allowed to go anywhere right now, this really could be the next best thing. So without further ado,
get ready for the next battle.
Swordtama! Super Smash Shows is back. Yeah, I can't believe it myself. You can't keep me down. Show number 1 is Swordtama, literally fishing ball. Directed by Kenji Nakamura, written by Toshioa Ono. It is a 12-episode season that aired in 2012, animated by A1 Pictures. Licenses in the US are Sentai Filmworks, in the UK MVM Films, and in Australia and New Zealand, Hanabi. If you like what you see, support the official release. The first episode starts out with some lore, explaining that a 5-headed dragon once lived in the ocean, and with it came suffering and dark clouds. This is such a lovely art style. A beautiful princess arrived and dispelled the clouds with an illuminating smile, bringing peace and happiness to all. We meet a young boy holding a fishbowl above his head, a fish that appears to be able to communicate using psychic powers. What? Heading to the aquarium, it's revealed that he can somehow communicate with fish, and he's looking for something. Nothing makes sense so far. Now we're introduced to our main character, Sanada Yuki. I thought for a minute he was masturbating. With his phone under the table. He lives with his grandmother, who is always moving due to her work, so he's constantly changing home and school. Because of this, he never developed the necessary social skills for such situations, displayed to us through the imagery of him drowning in socially awkward situations. What? What? I almost drowned at school. He and his grandmother moved to their new home on the very real island of Enoshima, Kawagawa. And it really is this beautiful in real life. Grandma? I thought for a minute it was just his mother and she was really aged. Well, I always like to play a little game in regards to which opening theme is the best, and we're starting out very strong here as well. Might have to see if this is on Spotify. Suppose I could Shazam it. Fishbowl Boy sees Yuki in the car as they pass by and, I don't know, pops a boner or something. Seems pretty excited and he's saying, pee pee, pee pee! What? Yuki explores his new home with large rooms and a beautiful ocean view. Really? This looks like a nice place to live, actually. Lots of nice, wide establishing shots of rooms. Really gives off the illusion of the size of this property. He heads to his new school. The Fishbowl Boy finds Yuki's house and proceeds to claim squatters' rights. What? He introduces himself as Haru, an alien. Yuki's grandmother lets him stay if he agrees to promise something, but it's not revealed to us what that promise entails. Meanwhile, a literal Austin Powers villain with a turban holding a duck is spying from the Sea Candle lighthouse. He seems to know that Haru is an alien, but is trying to work out if he's just a sightseer or a threat. What? What? On the train to his new school, Yuki ends up in an awkward situation. Does he give up his seat for the man who's standing? If he does, the man might get offended. I'm not that old. His indecisiveness and anxiety puts a right look on his face. The girl sitting opposite starts to giggle. Oh no, she's from the same school and Yuki's made a fool of himself on the very first day. Cute. This reminds me a lot of the town from Natsuura High School, Seishun Hakusho, on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. It's just like this, it's an island south of everything else, connected by a long road and train track. Beautiful blue skies. It gives me exactly the same feeling. Yuki introduces himself at school, a painfully awkward sequence to watch. He's so awkward. He's also in the same class as the girl who was sitting opposite him, as well as another student on the train who gave up his seat for the man. Yuki once again makes a fool of himself. And as things are starting to get really awkward, Haru turns up, declares himself a student and an alien, calls out to Yuki, and starts trying to reel him in with a fishing rod. I'm not joking, all of that happens. Haru shoots Yuki with a water gun, and the next moment the two are doing a strange hypnotic dance together. The first day of school could have gone better. What? Every time he shoots him with the gun, he starts doing stuff that he doesn't remember. After school, Haru, Yuki, and the boy from before, Natsuki, end up going fishing together, which Yuki of course fails miserably at. Fishing for old guys. I share that sentiment, I'm sorry. It's gonna come home with like a mountain of fish. Nah. I thought for a second that might happen, but no. In the evening, Yuki laments his awful day, only to then discover that Haru had moved in. Just matter of fact. The episode closes off with Yuki running from Haru's weird, gropey advances. You and I are going to save the world, he declares. Oh, come on, you can't end it like that. Now I need to know how they save the world. If ever there was a cliffhanger that makes me want to carry on watching, there it is. Light-hearted, slice of life, comedy. Animation's very nice. The sets are beautiful. The location is stunning. Like I said earlier, reminds me a lot of Seishun Hakusho, Natsuura High School for PlayStation 4. Very similar kind of environment. Beautiful island town. Pretty, I wouldn't mind moving in. Is it going to be the best of the three shows? We'll find out.
A lull in the sea.
Known in Japan as Nagino Ashikara, literally from the calm tomorrow, is an animated series based on the manga of the same name, written by Project 118 and illustrated by Riso Maeda. The animated series was directed by Toshiya Shinohara, written by Mario Okada, and was animated by PA Works. Publishing in North America is by Nippon Ichi Software America, UK is MVM Films, and Australia and New Zealand is Siren Visual. The series ran for 26 episodes, beginning airing on October 3rd, 2013. If you like what you see, support the official release. The episode begins with a creep shot of a butt in shorts. Well, it's already perfect.
And now to finish off with high heat.
Oh wait, no, that's a guy. I take back what I said. This belongs to our lead, Hikari Shakishima. Definitely take back what I said. He's cooking dinner. Everything looks normal to begin with, but there's a crab on TV and some fish in the air. There are fish floating in front of the television. Is this SpongeBob? Apparently so, as this society lives underwater. Cue the busted jokes. Is this the year 3000? Well, we've already ascertained that the great-great-great-grandson is pretty fine.
Morning. Oh, hey there, Hikari. Good morning.
And the great-granddaughter as well. Hikari is on his way to meet up with his friends. It's their first day at their new school. He meets up with his friends, Chisaki, Kaname, and Manaka. The dynamic here is immediately obvious. Chisaki's into Hikari, but Hikari's into Manaka. It's a slice of life, and that's a real hard sell to me. Also, creep shots. Sensing a lot of creep shots in this so far.
It's fine.
A lot of creep shots. Manaka gets snatched up by a nearby fishing boat. creep shots, I'll call them all out. This show doesn't skimp on them, much to its detriment.
Another creep shot, this time of the thigh.
Manaka's eyes meet with a boy on a fishing boat, and now our age-old storytelling device has been constructed.
Quite a nice laid-back opening theme. Gives me an idea of exactly what kind of show this is going to be. Slice of life. Generally not my genre of choice. One great thing about Super Smash shows is it introduces me to series that I might not have checked out otherwise. Sometimes that's for good reason. Tell you what, I'm going to need more coffee to get through this.
After the opening song, our main cast is at their new school introducing themselves. Of course, the boy from the boat is in the classroom, and of course, Hikari is jealous of the boy for stealing his Manaka away, and yada yada, you get the picture. Mean-spirited things are said and done by Hikari.
Creep shots. Yeah. I've noticed a lot of them in this show so far. I'm not against fan service, but they've done nothing but fan service since the very first frame of this episode. I'm just saying.
School has finished for the day, and Hikari stops off by his mum? His sister's place of work? I don't even know. Through a little bit of force-fed lore building, it's revealed that the surface people hold just as much animosity for the sea people as they do for them.
Is this what, like a series about racism or something?
Not a chance.
Like, is that the underlying theme here? Don't be racist against the sea people?
Exposition time. All humans lived in the sea, but those fascinated by the surface moved there. The sea god got angry and took away the surface dwellers' metaphysical robe that let them live in the sea. Gotta love lore exposition dumps. Hikari's heir to the shrine too. That explains why he acts like such a stuck-up. After a little lover spat, Hikari and Manaka head to see Lord Uroko, and in a wonderfully awkward scene, he tries to grope the child. Look, I can't not mention it. Even if it does paint an awful impression of what anime fans are like, it's just a creepy scene. Uroko is a creepy character and I don't like it. Apparently it's just natural because Manaka's in heat or something?
You smell of a female.
She repels Uroko's advances, so he curses her.
Oh god.
But more importantly, how was the surface?
What I was saying about creep shots earlier and fan service, looks like I hit the nail on the head, huh? Oh boy. It's gonna be one of those.
The next morning, Manaka refuses to go to school. It looks like Uroko really did curse her by putting a fish head on her right knee. Also, creep shots. Oh yeah, creep shots everywhere.
Creep shot. I shouldn't really be calling them all out every time I see them, but this show is full of them.
Including girls in Manaka and Chisaki's class, who start groping her and looking at her shiny, fishy skin. The fish on the knee makes a stupid noise, Manaka runs out of the classroom, and it all kind of happens, and I'm nonplussed. Manaka runs off and gets lost.
When the song plays at 5 o'clock.
Possibly creep shot?
But is rescued by the boy from the fishing boat. Manaka and the fishing boat boy hit it off, and we still haven't been told his name yet.
And she gets rescued by the boy. The boy will see the farting fish head. Yeah.
I think it's pretty.
What? You think it's pretty? It's a fish head.
While Hikari searches practically all evening for Manaka. Hikari and Manaka finally meet up, but the fishing boat boy is with her. Hikari's more concerned with whatever the fishing boy did and runs past Manaka completely, threatening the fishing boy. Manaka insists that the fishing boat boy saved her, and we finally get his name, Tsumugu. And of course, Hikari doesn't miss a beat. Looks like Manaka is comfortable around Tsumugu because she hasn't wrapped the cursed knee back up.
And so Romeo and Juliet were separated once again.
The episode ends with a preview for next time.
I try not to make it obvious with my reactions, but this ain't it, fam. Not this one. Not this one.
Mermaid Melody, Peachy, Peachy, Pitch. Our last show this time is Mermaid Melody, Peachy, Peachy, Pitch, which started as a manga written by Michiko Yokote. The animated series was directed by Yoshitaka Fujimoto, written by Junki Takagami, and created by Actus and Synergy SP. As of right now, there is no North American, UK, or Australian distributor for the anime. Due to the nature of the show's non-existent releases, I was stuck watching an era-appropriate fan-subbed release.
As you can see, to watch this one, I'm having to go to the old-school peer-to-peer file-sharing days of Luna Anime and burned-in hard subs to watch this.
But all the clean-cut footage will be from the official Japanese Volume 1 DVD. This episode begins on a stormy night. In an undersea palace, Mermaid Princess Lucia of the North Pacific Ocean sets off to find her missing mermaid pearl with the help of her assistant, a penguin named Hippo. Right off the bat, both main characters, this is what I like. Cut the crap and just get a move on. She reaches the surface and changes her appearance so she can walk among the humans. Premise concretely explained, opening sequence begins. And this song is so wonderfully cheesy bubblegum, and I love it.
Oh, this opening theme is fire! This is really good!
A fortune teller reads the future, but she's a hack. All she's doing is watching the CCTV feed. That got a chuckle from me.
It's not a prediction, it's a security camera.
While in the human world, Lucia mustn't let on that she's a mermaid, so Hippo is her pet penguin, her fairy godmother is a fortune-telling specialist for a hotel, and Lucia is working part-time at said hotel to sell the illusion she's just a regular high school girl. Being from the sea, she does a bad job of everything.
You could say this is your typical fish out of water story.
Oh boy, bath scene.
Bath?
This show is meant for a teen female audience, right? I do wonder sometimes, like they put little things in here and there so the parents can have a good time watching too. When a mermaid touches water, she reverts back to her mermaid form, and a mermaid who has lost her pearl can only sing out of tune. Luckily, Hippo has his pearl radar, straight out of Dragon Ball, to pick up on the mermaid pearl readings. It doesn't have to make sense, just roll with it.
Oh look, he's got a dragon radar!
It's then revealed that there's something Lucia doesn't know, and we're not privy to it either. A mystery to keep us interested.
I'll tell her in 60 episodes.
As she drifts off to sleep, Lucia remembers the day she lost her pearl. When exploring the nearby ocean, she comes across an ocean liner having a fireworks show. A large wave rocks the boat, and a young boy falls out. Lucia brings the boy to land, and after he won't wake, she uses her pearl to wish him back to health.
Isn't like a siren meant to bring people to their death, not save them from their death?
The next day, reminded of the events by her dream the night before, Lucia visits the beach where it all occurred. She spots a hunky surfboarder, practicing for a big event coming up. He comes across as a bit of a sleazeball, but sure enough, he's the one. And he's still got the pearl too, but Lucia doesn't realise it just yet. Lucia moves into her new school. She struggles to see which class she's in, but Sleaze Master McHandsome Boy from the beach is there and looks over for her. They're both in the same class.
You're in the same class as me, come on baby.
A blue-haired girl, who's obviously a mermaid because she stands out from everyone else, recognises Lucia from somewhere, presumably from being a mermaid.
She's also a mermaid.
She introduces herself as Hosho Hanon, and the surfer boy is revealed to be Kaito. Looks like there's a lot of competition for Kaito, but Hanon is rooting for Lucia. Hanon takes Lucia shopping to find that perfect outfit. Shenanigans ensue.
For the record, as a guy, none of those fashions did anything for me, but if she turned up wearing a Shrine Maiden uniform, I think it'd be a little bit different. Not bothered by that at all.
Hippo's not pleased about the surfing competition, but Lucia convinces him to come along so his mind is at ease.
Sorry, it's just something about the guy's voice.
At the event, Lucia and Hanon enjoy themselves, while Hippo searches for the pearl. The two guys try to hit on our leads, until Kaito turns up and sends them packing.
Good guy.
Just as he does something cool by saving the girls, he has to ruin it by saying he wants to see Lucia in a racier outfit.
He likes more racy clothes. Sleazy.
Kaito starts surfing. Lucia's totally got the hots for this guy. But Kaito is knocked down by a sudden freak wave. It's like poetry, everything rhymes. The weather takes a turn for the worse, and a force underwater starts pulling him down. It's a villain. The villain wastes no time in attacking Lucia, but Kaito awakes, recognizes Lucia's mermaid form, and lobs the pearl to her, allowing her to transform into a well-endowed, super sexy mermaid princess.
Transformation sequence time! You can thank Sailor Moon for that.
And turning her pearl into a I mean a karaoke microphone. A bright light appears, and a voice tells Lucia to sing.
Just sing, goddammit! We don't have time!
And with the power of singing a cheesy but beautiful J-pop song, the villain is forced to retreat.
Legend of Mermaid from album Splash Dreams single. Wow, I'd even recognise that one. This show's got some really good music. I guess just because I'm into this cheesy bubblegum J-pop stuff. Maybe I should put together an official ReelAsia Spotify playlist.
Kaito and Mermaid Lucia have a heartwarming reunion on the beach, while Hippo is still searching for the pearl. Huh, that's weird. Two strong readings nearby. One of them is Lucia, but could the other one be Hanon? Well, duh. Sure enough, Hanon reveals to Hippo that she is in fact a mermaid. The two are worried that if Lucia confesses her love to Kaito, or if she, as a human, reveals that she's the mermaid who saved him, Lucia will turn into bubbles and disappear.
Why? Why will it be bad? You just take more effort to make it work, that's all. Have slightly less holes to work with.
The episode ends on a happy moment, with a bittersweet sadness.
So, that was Mermaid Melody Peachy Pitch. It's just got a very nice old school feel to it, of course because it's an old school show. I've watched through the entirety of the original Precure. Girly, old school standard def anime like this doesn't bother me, in fact I have a soft spot for it. Well, now comes the long-winded part. The writing, and the recording, and the editing. Got some good shows to talk about here.
Battle Royal! 3 shows set in or on the sea. 3 different vibes, 3 different shows, and yet oddly similar, with many links and connections. It's time to swim into the Battle Royale and separate the shark from the minnow. I went into a lull in the sea with high expectations. A friend had told me that they enjoy the show a lot, and its art style and animation is very appealing. But as someone who rarely enjoys a slice of life, especially one so devoid of comedy or outwardly interesting characters, I found it incredibly hard to pay attention throughout a lull in the sea. Its blatant Romeo and Juliet-esque Montagues and Capulets can't live together plot with a heaped helping of thinly veiled commentary on racism is nothing I haven't seen in other, more interesting shows. And let's not forget the sea deity of presumably hundreds of years in age, if not older, who starts creeping on a young girl. Yikes. A Lull in the Sea comes across as very competently made and written, it's just not my scene as far as anime goes. though the ease in which one can watch it, appearing on UK Netflix available in both its English and Japanese dub, is commendable. I'd recommend trying the first episode to see if this fish-nibbled melodrama is up your ravine or not. Swordtama is such a good-looking show. It's right up there with its bright colours, wide-open shots, detail-oriented visual appeal. But as we know, a show looking great isn't the only reason to watch it. There's way more to it than that. Good visuals are supplementary to the story and characters and their relationships. Luckily for Swordtama then, that its lead character Yuki is such a lovable and relatable character. With his social anxiety and introverted personality, I'm sure there's a lot of anime fans who can see themselves in him. Myself included. Playing off Yuki is the extroverted, energetic Haru, the self-proclaimed alien on a journey to save the world and maybe do a spot of fishing along the way. Whereas Yuki keeps to himself, Haru has to involve everyone in his nonsense, no matter what or how. His water gun seems to give him temporary brainwashing power, where the person he shoots with it blacks out for a moment and then comes to doing something they don't remember. In the hands of a villain, that power could be frightening, and I get the feeling Swordtama may well explore that. And they might do a spot of fishing. A lot of fishing. There's so much I want to know. What was the promise Haru made to Yuki's grandmother? What's with the dark-skinned, turban-wearing, duck-wielding, binocular spy man? Do we get to see the beauty mark girl with markedly less clothing? I just gotta see! I just gotta find out! Mermaid Melody Peachy Peachy Pitch is designed for teenage girls, but I did an episode of this show on Pretty Cure seasons and did a short video on Star Twinkle, so obviously I'm the right audience for this. Vintage anime always gets an unfair handful of extra points because I've just got a thing for older shows, especially when they're properly preserved. It's a real shame Mermaid Melody hasn't been properly preserved. To buy the show on DVD in Japan requires obtaining 14 separate DVD volumes. That kind of short-sightedness just bugs the ever-loving crap out of me. It's like companies are so focused on making money, they care not for the preservation of art. The two are not mutually exclusive. You can make money and still preserve something for future generations. Getting back on track, that first episode. Well, like I've said before, I've always loved the hand-drawn look of older shows. It's really appealing with big, bright eyes, and the pace is great. Nothing really lags about, it's a constant forward motion, besides the flashback dream sequence. Character personalities are well realised, and there's a great sense of humour. All those clamshell bras, a little something for the adults watching too. Sailor Moon at sea though? Nowhere near as involved, at least judging by the first episode. The story is incredibly simple, and my criticisms of A Lull in the Sea's forbidden love crap rings true here too. A human and a mermaid can't be together, and the drama stems from there. Slap on a transformation sequence with a special wand, which you can sell a toy of. Every little girl is gonna want her mermaid wand, batteries sold separately. It's not to say shows like Sailor Moon didn't spawn the same kind of merchandise, but even from the first episode of Sailor Moon, that story just feels more grand? I recently watched the entirety of the original Toei Pretty Cure dub, and while it is an excellent show with some strong character development and top-tier writing, the show is essentially a bad guy appears, our heroines do magic, and save the day. I was hoping Mermaid Melody, conceived more than a year prior, might have done things a little more interestingly, but it's the exact same formula. In one episode, it's hard to say if it will go somewhere interesting or not. Outside of one mystery kept from us, everything else is more or less explained and set in stone. I'm not ready for another show like that unless it goes somewhere exciting. Before we pick the winner, the show I'd be most likely to continue watching, I first need to pick the winner of our opening song challenge. I gotta hand it to Suruzure Monochrome, the opening song to Swordtama. It's super catchy, reminds me of The Pillows, which is always a good thing. Seems to fit the odd vibe of the show well. The Super Smash Show's official playlist is now on Spotify, and features songs that appear on episodes of Super Smash Shows. Following this playlist might also give you an early insight into upcoming episodes too. Link will be in the description. I get the feeling I say this often on Super Smash Shows, but I really struggled to pick a winner here. Nah, just kidding, this time was pretty easy. I think I'm ready to give my verdict. And the winner is... Swordtama. Enoshima is a beautiful place I'd love to visit, especially her thighs. Oh wait, not Junko Enoshima, but the island of Enoshima. Still applies, minus the part about the thighs. For real though, Swordtama perfectly recreates the ethereal beauty of Japan's coastal island town down to its individual landmarks. I wouldn't be surprised if Yuki's house is modelled on a real house from the area. I think it might actually have been modelled on this seaside hotel, right down to the shape and colour of the building. Even the origin story of the princess and the five-headed dragon is a huge part of real Enoshima's folklore and history. The sunlight, the sea, the lens flares, the shimmering summer heat, and plenty of fishing. Imagine moving into such a beautiful town and on your first day getting tangled up in the affairs of a sightseeing alien on a journey to save the world. From what exactly? I really want to know. The mystery eats at me. I just gotta continue watching. Swordtama takes the real-world beauty of Enoshima and brings it to everyone. So which would have you crowned the winner? Swordtama and its fishy alien hijinks? A Lull in the Sea and its romantic love story with farting fish heads? Or Mermaid Melody Peachy Peachy Pitch and its charmingly vintage siren's wail? Share your choice in the comments below. This episode's theme was suggested by channel sponsor Draven Devere. Think you can suggest a better theme? Drop that in the comments too. Or share your suggestion on the Flagrant Weeaboo Discord. This has been ReelAsia. You've been watching Super Smash Shows, and I'll see you next time.